And we are live on a Thursday afternoon, or I should say evening, 5 o'clock here in the Pacific Northwest, and after 8 for all my peeps on the East Coast, and everywhere in between and outside. So I hope everyone has had a great week though so far. And those watching on playback, thank you. Remember, hit the like, subscribe to all that good YouTubey stuff. And I'll say it before she gets here, but remember to smack that sassy, as Jax would say. So we'll give it a few minutes, see if anybody pops in. I was trying to pick, the best time of day to slip in my little pop up, and to wait to see if people show. Just going to go ahead and announce as a reminder that tomorrow night is a triple header here on my channel. Tom Early Ritual is joining me along with my old cohort, Allison from Aries Girl Tarot. So we'll be doing the whole paranormal discussion thing, and my partner Shan will also be joining the conversation as well. So it's a triple header. Well, I'm not quite sure what you would add a fourth, but YouTube wise, it's a triple header. So that is 5 p.m. Pacific Standard and 8 p.m. Eastern. So we'll give it a second to see if anybody pops in. I do see I have a lurker. Hello, lurker. So today, wanted to look into something fun, pull out a couple decks. And I figured, well, today would be maybe try a daily recap reading. I found a cute little 3-card spread in my new deck by Jamie Sawyer. Well, it's not brand new, but it's new to me, the Nested Tarot. She has a cute little spread for morning, midday, and evening or night. And I thought I would throw in some of her cards, some of my Glyph Oracle deck that I have, and let me grab these here, very cool Lost Soul tarot. We just had a quarter moon yesterday, so hoping to start getting ready for the new moon. New moons are my favorite. I was going to read on for quarter moon readings, but I thought, nah, let's just do something a little different. And just waiting to have people pop in. And of course, once you're in chat, just, do the good old type me and we'll get started. So I think while we're waiting, I'll go ahead and maybe start a collective. So those who's watching may not be sure if they want to ask for a reading. I'm going to go ahead and do a sample here. So my cuppa is a coffee, and your cuppa may be tea, maybe some chai. Alrighty, just hope you have a cup and you are enjoying. And C3PO. I had to say that. I'm a Star Wars girl. So hello to C23PO. Welcome. Nice to see new people. So I will go ahead and just kind of give an idea of what I'm going to do for today. So we are going to start with here. Some of my cards are turned around here. Make sure everything is in order. All righty. So I hope you've had a good day. I'm not sure where you hail from, but I'm here up the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Beautiful, beautiful springtime weather. So we'll start off with a collective. And so all righty. So we got the Queen of Swords. So that'll be like a middle card. And let's see, morning, midday. This is going to be fun. So, alrighty, let's do this. Alrighty, for the morning. Hello, Beth. You're from Scotland. Wait a minute. Oh, I was going to say Scotland. I'm seeing this scene, and I'm like, this isn't Chris from Elemental Cartomancy, is it? Hey, Beth, how are you doing, my dear? I had this idea and then I changed it, and now I'm looking at my cards going, okay, how am I going to do this now? So that would be morning. Let's see, let's get a midday. It's always fun to play around with different spreads and different cards. Alrighty. And let's have a card for the evening, nighttime. Hi, Denise. How are you? Everyone's going, who's Denise? That would be Miss Trixie K right there. And let's pull from my glyph. We'll start with a collective just to get the day started. All righty. Okay. So the main energy, let's kind of just look at the main energy. I'll use these two as main energies. Woo! I got the Queen of Swords, and she is the one that cuts right to the chase. Very clear on how she communicates, very clear on her thoughts, and she represents that of having clear communication within ourselves, with others. She communicates her boundaries, her thoughts, her ideas. She's kind of like the tough love. So we're looking at an energy here for a collective, as kind of focusing on making sure that we, especially during Mercury retrograde, if people fly by, the Mercury retrograde. And so this is, really to kind of taking a step back, thinking before we speak. Usually I like to associate that with the Knight of Swords, but all the swords really. But just at this time, making it clear, when it comes to boundaries, our work, our personal lives, making sure that our thoughts, our feelings are stated in a clear, concise manner, that we communicate from a place of practicality, not from emotion. So especially with a job, with technology, this is something where we watch what we say text-wise, what we say through email, even verbally. The Queen of Swords, and it doesn't have to be a gender specific. This energy is someone is like, you betray her once and then that's it. She's just very straight to the point. So this is kind of like straight to the point energy, kind of overall energy for today. And the Oracle card that's going to go along with her from my Glyph Tarot is Reflection and Mirror. So a great card to go with hey Roman, a good card to go with the Queen of Swords. Because when it comes to the Queen of Swords, the mirror, taking a look in that mirror, our reflection, making sure that what we say is, we're speaking our truth from a place of authenticity. Queen of Swords, they don't like lies, they don't like falsehoods. So this is someone, this energy is making sure that when we look at ourselves in the mirror, we are, being honest, not just with other people, with ourselves as well. And so our morning energy, looking at about balancing, and of course, for a lot of us during the day, we're balancing work, finances, career, kids, sometimes our emotions, but just trying to keep everything in balance. Midday card, 9 of Cups. So it feels like maybe for some of us, we have had around noontime a feeling of accomplishment, of happiness, of success. Maybe we even, got to go out and kick back and had a few with some friends, whether, going to a bar or going to a cafe. I prefer cafes these days. But just an energy for overall collective of either experiencing that happiness, that joy, that satisfaction, making it too. This could be job wise too. Oh God, I made it halfway through the shift, so I only have so many hours left to go. But also trying to keep our spirits, not necessarily hitting the cups for spirits to raise our spirits, but maybe just being mindful of being able to keep our spirits up and in a good place, especially with everything that's going on in the world. And for our nighttime card, the Four of Pentacles. So after all this day, maybe with the balancing act this morning, maybe going out and having some drinks of some kind, because like they that song, it's 5 o'clock. Oh, somewhere, isn't it? But coming to the evening at the end of the day, kind of taking a look back, taking stock on our finances, any projects, also our health. The two of the Pentacles also represent health. So looking at how we're balancing our health, our emotions with our cups, making sure that our what we speak, what we communicate with others are clear, is authentic, especially with ourselves. Because we got to be the ones to look in that mirror, at the end of the day or first thing in the morning as well. So that's what I have for the collective. That's basically how the gist of this, my readings I wanted to do today go. So C2. Is there another name you want us to go by? But you met Chris in Glasgow. Very cool. I know Chris and I kept trying to figure out a date to get on, to collaborate, but this was on my old channel, Indigo Jaguar. So, but I think he might be on the new one here with Jonathan and I when we do our art special. We're hoping maybe next week. So, Colin, nice to meet you. Heather, we're a very friendly group here in chat, a very respectful one. And yes, the only thing, Roman, about my Lost Souls tarot is I really haven't used it that much, and the coating is starting to come off. Can you see that? It's starting to peel. So I'm not too happy with that, but it's still a very cool deck, relatively inexpensive. It was like under $20. And so, yes, that is Denise. So let's see. And Beth is here. Oh, Scotland. I would love to go to Scotland one of these days. I have family from Northumberland in England. And then the hint they said of Scott. So one of these days, a bucket dream of mine would be to go and then go up into Scotland, see if maybe I can find any ancestors up there. So, but yes, that is what I am doing. So if anybody would like a daily daily recap reading, please let me know. And we have Draven here. Hello, Draven. Draven, guess what? I got burning. She wanted to come tonight and be a part of it. But look what I'm burning. Oh, she smells so good. I got my Morgan candle going. Oh, stuff just smells heavenly. It's like deep, it's rich, it's earthy. I just absolutely love it. Let's see. We would love to have you here. People make Glasgow. Oh, I would love to visit. So I have a whole itinerary of a British Isles trip. Ooh, yeah. I want to do the Morgan. Yes. After, I would say, since around 2015, she's been kind of at me, and I keep going, oh, I don't know, because I'm used to working with goddesses and being raised, within the Catholic faith. Mary was always, my goddess, and she's the mother, and she's loving, and she's nurturing this and that. And then, starting to work with a few others. But for the Morrigan, I'm like, what? Battle, death, but she's more than that. But, it took her a while. So, yeah, I'm starting to work with her. So, yeah, and I found out I have others who are connected to the Morgan as well. I would love to maybe do a show some night, a panel of us. I don't want to say a panel, but like a group, and just talking about and sharing, what we want to, because some things in our spiritual path or practice needs to stay private, but maybe being able to have a conversation about she is beloved. And so have a conversation of how we connect, how we see her. And, I'm a poet as well, besides an artist. And so when I started reading more on her, noticing that, she's a goddess of poetry. I don't know if I can write Rosk poetry, but I know she inspires me. And that's how I've communicated with her a couple of times, was through my poetry. And of course, the goddess or the great mother of prophecy as well, have asking her to help me, get better with readings and connecting in with my gifts. And James says, I would travel up to Orkney in North Scotland and go south from there, stop at Glasgow, Rolling. Now, Edinburgh, there's a guy on Instagram that was teaching people how to properly pronounce. Is he says it, and he's from Scotland, and he goes, it's not Edinburgh, it's not Edinburgh, it's Edinburgh. I think something similar to that. And I was like, okay, I'll try to remember that. Um, Downtown London, Stonehenge, yes. And I would love to, of course, Ireland, go to, oh, Roslyn, gotcha. Yes, I would love to go to Roslyn Chapel. That would be amazing. But yeah, I would love to go to Owenagat, Cave of the Cats. The Morgans, or not Moringa, I like to call her, refer to her, they, um, to go visit there. And I don't know, Draven, if you have this book, but it's heavily researched. So I'm reading a little bit at a time. Has a lot of information, but I have Reverend Lauren O'Brien's book on the Morgan, and I also have Courtney Weber's book, and I know there's a book by Morgan Daimler that I would like to add to my collection at some point. But yeah, I have a statue. She got her fresh mead today. I have a bottle of mead. And so I've been siphoning off every few days or so. I've been giving her an offering of mead. I asked her, please don't offend. It's Nordic mead, but it's still what I would love to offer you. So, but yes, I would love to talk about her, have a conversation. So, I mean, I do have a Sacred Feminine show that I talked about her a few times, but just to have a group of people together with me to share, what they're able to share, about, their journey, how they came about, connecting with her. And so finally I caved in. I have Courtney's book and the Morgan Daimler book, Laura O'Brien Rubs. I've heard that, and I've watched some of her videos, which, I find, I haven't had any experiences like that. I know that she's had to address several times on her channel about cultural appropriation, and how some people tend to, take things that she's written from her blogs or her videos, or from the school, the Irish Pagan School, and then use that as their own material without reference to all the work that she's done. Um, but yeah, I haven't had anything that I experienced just yet. So, but I have heard, I have heard that. And yes, she comes to Sears. Just for me, she's always been kind of scary. I'm not a person. I don't like horror films. I don't like horror flicks. I really don't like a lot of blood and gore. But yet, what? Okay, so I'll watch the X Files. There are even some things on the X Files, I can't watch. But for me, she's so very intense with her imagery. I do have the Call of the Morgan Oracle deck, and some of the cards, even though they're relatively calm, there's still blood and some stuff in it. And I'm just kind of like, oh my goodness. I'm like, oh, Great Queen, help me to get past, you know, this image. Help me to really connect with what you need for me to connect with you. And very good for personal sovereignty work. Yes, I have, oh, a lot of stuff to work through. And I think that's why it's kind of finally the knock on the door is like, okay, I'm going to start answering. I haven't done a full dedication or to claiming to be a devotee. That takes a lot of commitment, and I want to make sure that I am up to the task, because she is one goddess. I don't want to, offend any goddess, but with her, she, when I first start, connecting again with her, I did hear that she says, I'm not to be trifled with. And I'm like, yes, point taken. But I do have a statue now of her. I have like a crow raven's ring pendant. I have my candle. So I'm just really just trying to feel into it. It's kind of like getting to know you a little bit better, so to speak. But yeah, so I can do the daily recap readings if anybody would like one. But gentlemen, Colin, and is it Col? I'm hoping it's Colin and not Colin. I think it would be Colin if it was two L's. But Colin or Draven, I do have my Call of the Morgan Oracle if you want me to pull from that as well. If you're interested in a reading, and let's see, work honestly with her, any God really, and I feel you are good. There we go. But yeah, I have my my little thing of mead for her. I don't have a fancy, but here, I want to share her. So this is my statue I was able to get of her. I didn't want the sexy, bosomy, sex doll kitten, like Laura does speak about. For me, that I wanted something that also exude, having her crow raven, having her spear, being in that warrior spirit. So I found one that I could afford. So I absolutely adore her. She's got a space right here. So yeah, we'll see how things go. I would love a reading. Cole is good too. Oh, Cole. That reminds me. Remember from Charmed when Phoebe fell in love with the demon Cole? Oh, he was gorgeous. And we lost him too this past year to cancer. That's what your friends call you. Okay, so Cole and Draven, would you like one of your cards to be from the Morgan Oracle? Let me know. So let's get started. Let me see what I feel here. Here, let me start with the glyph. So first up will be Cole. Yes, please. Okay. What about you, Cole? Would you like the other oracle card to be pulled from? Yes. Okay. Okay. So actually, here, let me put the glyph down. Let me just go get her instead. Now, I know that some people don't consider Stephanie Woodfield or Karen Storminger properly connects with the Morgan, but I found that a lot of information in this book is very similar to what I've seen in Weber and O'Brien's books. So I think we're good on that. But yeah, let me put that there because I got a special bag for her. So let me call it now, Maligna. We are reading for Cole. Okay. Alrighty, Great Queen. You have her books too? Okay, for Cole. What is your main message for Cole? But every time I do a lot of pulls from this deck, you know who keeps coming up? Not any aspect of her, but I keep getting Lou. No, not Lou. Pardon me, Lou. I keep getting King Nuada. And I'm like, well, this is interesting, but he is about, it's the King of Truth. Okay. Let me set this here. Move my coffee cup far away from these other decks. And a little fun fact, my partner Shan, he got me the Call of the Morgan for Valentine's Day. And I said to the lady as we were cashing out, nothing says I love you like a deck of an oracle deck about the goddess of death from war and battle. And she looked at me and she started laughing. I thought it was funny. Noada is poking at me. I think so. And it's so interesting because I am reading a science fiction series Of course, she's making the Morgan the bad person in the book. Um, but the characters are Nuada. Um, Hernan Carnunos is back in this book. Bridget, and of course, the Morgan is the evil one. But the books still are really well written. They're very good. They're called the Walker Papers by C.E. Murphy. I highly recommend. So, whole message. Alrighty. So today, the morning, the afternoon, and the evening, and let's pull also a card from the bottom. Okay. So I am going to I'm going to read from here because I'm still learning about her and the cards. So Chris, you got cow. Got the cow card. I don't know if any of you have this deck, but the artist really is amazing. Her name is Naomi Kornuk. And so the cow, which is 26. Okay, so wealth, success, and financial gain. Cattle in Irish culture represented wealth, as we all know from her myths. Um, the Calorate of Cooley. I'm still learning how to pronounce the other one, the Calorate of Tured or Tarith. And so cattle was very important, represented wealth and a type of currency. They provided meat and leather. Their milk could produce cheese and butter and was associated with blessings. Cows were symbols of strength, power, and fertility. As Macha, her name means field or plain, here represented by the lush field the cow grazes in. So in modern Irish, Macha is related to the word for cattle field, Mag Tured. So I am pronouncing Tured. Okay. In the Morgan's myths, she shapeshifts into a hornless heifer and drives a herd of cattle to distract Cuchulainn in battle. Oh, those two, the stories I've been reading with those. The Morgan was also known for stealing cattle. She steals a bull from Adris, and when Cuchulainn encounters her in the Tan Bo Ragamna, she is also driving a cow through Ulster. Here, Anu, so this is representing Anu. Anu leads a cow, across a lush landscape, signifying peace, plenty, and new growth. On her spear is the Hoam Louis. I know it's not Louis. I'm going to go by Louis, representing sustenance. So the divinatory meaning, to get to the starting here for your energy for the reading, is this is a time of abundance, wealth. Yes, it does, doesn't it? This is a time of abundance, wealth, success, and contentment. It signals a time of growth in all areas of life. Take time to appreciate the richness around you. The Om Louis can mean either flame or herb. It is strongly connected to cattle and sustaining cattle as well as inspiration. Take time to seek out what nourishes and feeds both physically and spiritually. We have to make sure all aspects are equally balanced and nurtured. And it says here, this might be a time of great inspiration, growth, and reaping the harvest of your hard work. And I can see that. These are great cards. So for the morning, Cole, starting off, you had the Three of Cups. So a lot of joy, celebration, coming together with others. Joy, celebration. Midday, I got the Ace of Wands. So I'm wondering if some new ideas or inspiration were starting to come through. I'm feeling with her here that there might have been something coming to you that might have been divinely guided by her or your spirit team, but it feels like there's a new energy, there's some new motivation, inspiration, or maybe even a reminder of motivation. Maybe something that, okay, I'm going to look at this a little bit differently now. So the Three of Cups, maybe what I'm seeing here is getting together this morning, maybe with some friends, co-workers, talking together, some new ideas came through, new inspiration. You were inspired. Um, by the end of the day, the nighttime, I got the Six of Pentacles. And this is a sharing, possibly of ideas, maybe finances being discussed and how to be able to supply money for a project idea, like a donation. So for me, it just seems like there was a lot of good times, celebration, coming together over new inspiration and ideas, and money being offered or ideas and thoughts being offered. You do this for me, and I can help you with this, kind of like starting a business or something, or getting a project off the ground. And your underlying energy cult is the Empress. So, there she is, be able to. So we have Anu here. Anu was the Empress, the mother of Ireland. She was, the Paps of Anu. So tapping into this underlying energy of creativity, your senses. I'm seeing multiple senses here: the cups, the emotions, the wands, the fire, the inspiration, the Six of Pentacles, the earth, getting grounded, doing something new. And then with, the cow being part of wealth and abundance. I just feel like really good energy around something that was maybe conceived today. Especially with the Empress, she's all about fertility, and fertility, fertile of new ideas, new projects, new creativity, tapping into that. So that's what I have, and this is excellent. Okay, I always get a little nervous sometimes for people I haven't read for, but especially when it's, the great queen herself, and I'm using her cards for somebody. So thank you. Thank you for letting me know. And so it's Draven, because so Draven. I was told, because I haven't watched the movie in a long time, but I was told Michael Draven was the character from the first Crow movie. Is that correct? But you switched it to Draven Michael. I was hearing something about that when I first met you in chat. Let's see, I am on a new creative streak. Okay, so the Three of Cups, it seems like the celebration, people coming together to lend you ideas or celebrating this with you. And again, that the Ace of Wands popping right up and just full of all those, for me, cups are for artists, but for me, really the fire, the wands, the motivation, I don't say the impetus. Yeah, the impetus of, new energy. So, all righty, let me put these cards over here. Let me take a quick sip. Eric Draven. Eric, yes. Michael is my first name, and Draven is very cool. But yeah, oh God, it's so hard for me to. I mean, I was able to get past the violence in it, but what a story. Poor Brandon Lee. He was gorgeous. He was beautiful. When I first saw him, I was like, oh. And then, as I read about and how, he was gone and this was his last movie, it was just like, it was so bittersweet to watch it. Man, what he could have done, acting, if he hadn't died on set. But man, he sure made his mark, let me tell you. All right, so Draven is next. Yeah. The second one, I tried to like it. Some of it was okay. But the ending and stuff, it just, I don't know. The only thing too about her deck is that the cards stick. It's got that coating on them. And they were talking about thinking it was a family curse or something, and that's why Brandon had to die or something. That was part of it. Ugh. Alrighty, so that's the main energy for you, your significator. So energy from this morning. Morning. Midday. Yeah. Sorry if that was too loud. Sometimes. Well, isn't that interesting? Sorry, I always say that when I read. It's just like, oh, isn't that interesting? Because the cards amaze me when you see certain ones come out. And then your brain starts doing and let's see, tonight. Nighttime read. Okay, so a couple of majors. All right. So let me put those aside here. We're going to look at your Morgan card. So you got number 34. You got Fate. And we all know that is Kukulon, who tied himself up to the stone because he didn't, he wanted to be able to die honorably, if I remember the story correctly. So, alrighty. And of course, it has to do, with fates and how much control we have over the fate of our own lives. And it says here keywords: unavoidable and fated. So it was foretold he would die young, yet gain great renown as a warrior. This fate is something he cannot avoid. Um, oh, so this is because of the geese. Is it pronounced geese or geese? That taboo that you're not supposed to break. The GEIS. I'm still learning how to properly pronounce. He wanted to die standing with warriors in honor. Here he tied himself to a so that was standing. Okay, he's tied himself to a stone. Because yeah, he's not supposed to eat dog meat, and yet the goddess came to him, and it was basically he couldn't get out of it. A sacred prohibition to never refuse hospitality and never eat the meat of his namesake, the dog. So yes, this is him dying on the battlefield. So the divinatory meaning here is there are some things we cannot avoid no matter how much we fight against them. This is one of those situations. Fate is neither good nor bad, simply unavoidable. Hi, Irene. Like the choice of the Morgan gives Kukulon, no matter what we do, our fates will come to pass. Whatever you are facing is inevitable. No matter what you do, it must be faced. Instead of avoiding it or convincing yourself that you can change these circumstances, you will need to face the situation head on. Okay, let's take a look here then at your. So the morning started off with the Emperor. So this is that energy of having to. So I don't. This is. I'm going to say within your circle, possibly community, home life, work. You were to take on the energy of the Emperor. This is, of course, the person who shows great leadership, is able to communicate well, is able to think very quick on their feet. This is someone who's looked up to because they rule, they guide from a place of integrity. And so this is someone, the Emperor energy is that this is your energy. People look up to you. You are a leader. there's another word I'm looking for here. Um, you stand by your morals, you stand by your ethics, um, your authenticity. Um, from what I'm feeling with the cards, there is um, no one would say that you have ever been um, dishonest, immoral. Um, yeah, that you've never been dishonest or immoral. I remain stability, consistency, authenticity is a big thing. So I'm looking at the fate here, and I want to say that perhaps you are in a position where sometimes you have to decide the fate of others, as in, I don't know if it has to do with a career, a work, or if, or in a spiritual practice. It's like there's fate, there's something that you have to do that you cannot escape. This might be something spiritual in this lifetime. This could be, I'm getting something with karma that, in this lifetime you are fated to lead, to represent. And there are aspects of it that you don't quite like, but because it's something that's fated, it's unavoidable, something that needs to be done, but you try to do it from a place of authenticity, again, integrity, leadership. um, your midday card is the Queen of Wands. So we all know the Queen of Wands energy is someone who is very charismatic. She lights up a room. She's inspiring. She nurtures creativity. Um, I'm still looking at that fate card. And there's three crows on there, and I have the three cards here. It feels like these are aspects within yourself that you are working on to bring together, like the Queen of Wands, which makes sense. The Wands, the fire, the midday energy. I don't know if this is when, and I'm going off on a tangent here, so just bear with me, Draven. For the Queen of Wands, this is like a fire energy. I don't know if you're a fire sign, but it feels like your creativity, your energy, this I don't want to keep using the word charisma, but this magnitude, this energy that you bring, it's inspiring, it's motivating to others, it's creative, but at the same time, even though you're the emperor, where you have that practicality, where you're grounded, here is this other aspect that comes out, which is, the embracing of the feminine, of the creative force. Um, and then tonight, you got the high priestess. And so it's like taking the wisdom of these aspects within yourself from the day and taking the wisdom from that, connecting with your intuition, um, reading into that energy, balancing that energy. But I'm looking at the fate. To me, the high priestess and the fate card, wisdom that we have gained from past lives, from our physical, I don't say physical, what we consider past lives in other lifetimes, whereas past lives within our life already on this earth walk. Um, let's see. So with the fate on this, um, I looked up, I tried not to look up so I don't get thrown up. I saw about the book. So so this might be what's fated, this thing that you're doing, this book that you are. I think I know what I'm fated to do. I'm writing a book on 80K. Awesome. And I just released that tag and that tag. Um, what tag is that? I see the pointing. So Leo. Okay. But that divine wisdom, that high priestess is my favorite card out of the whole deck. It's my favorite tarot card, because for me, she expresses our intuition, our creative nature, our connection to spirit. um, the wisdom. For me, when I see her book, I think of poetry. I think of books written because I've been wanting to read books. So for me, I've always loved the written word, but expressed through my Queen of Wands, where it's through art, poetry, you know. But yeah, this is faded. Um, I'm just going to leave it at that. But trust tonight, remember, trusting in that intuition, maybe paying attention to your dreams. There may be messages coming through from your dreams through meditation. Um, but to trust in that divine wisdom that you're able to channel with that Emperor and that Queen of Wands. And that's what I have for you. The spring emergence take I did with Amber at Psycho Pump the Void. Okay, I did not catch that, but I'll take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, we don't want you to have to tie yourself up to a stone and die for your book, but what is faded, yes. And what I'm also going to pick off of this too is bear with me here. Looking at this card, and then you saying that you're going to write some. So for me, because of these attributes that you have, the integrity that you have, am I safe to say that you may have felt at times like your back was up against a wall or a stone where you felt like people criticized or said, no, I don't think you can do this, or what, you know what I mean? Sometimes, well, a lot of times people say, we self sabotage ourselves, but at the same time, it feels like, no, we are standing. We did not give up. We were fated to do this no matter what came at, no matter what came at him, he was determined to stand up and finish it this way. So it feels like whatever maybe personal battles or external influences with you on your spiritual path in the creation of this book, it just feels like, yes, this was fated. This is going to be like your standing stone, your testimony, your testament to everything that you have, put into this book from your life. And to keep trusting in that high priestess, keep trusting in the divine feminine, your intuition, your dreams, your creativity, and that knowledge and wisdom that you have. My own self doubt, okay. This card also gives me a feeling of martyrdom in a way, too. Um, but no, to me, also, it just, yeah. I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, your own self doubt. I've been there. I have started at least 5 books in my lifetime. And I get to the point where I can't figure out how I keep changing it. And then it gets to the point where I get frustrated. I don't think someone's going to like this anyways. And I toss it and I walk away. So, but yeah, I can understand the self doubt. And Jax is here. Hello, and Michelle Marie. Hello, my dear. How are you? Hola, bonita. Aw, girl, we gotta do something. We gotta. And yes, whoops, best chatters. I read voraciously or not at all. There is no in between. Sounds like you're channeling your inner Yoda. So let me just up here a little bit. So the spring emergence tag I did with Amber. Okay, I'll check that out. I'm also working on a magical grimoire. So I have a lot of creation just flowing. More YouTube content in 6 months than the previous 3 years combined. We go with the flow. We go with what we can do. As long as, it's not too much of that self-sabotage, but sometimes it takes baby steps for us to be able to learn certain skills or have certain experiences so that we can fill those pages or fill our thoughts and insights with something that's tangible that we can share with others. So, but yeah, big hugs. I know all about self doubt. But this year, I think even with the way, shit's hitting the fan here, literally. In our country, I think it's still going to be a good year where light will overcome a lot of the shadow. Things are going to be brought into the light. Things are going to get changed. Um, a lot of our lives are on a trajectory, and that energy is behind it. And I'm looking forward to it. So much luck. And Mona is here. Hello, Mona. So I'm doing these little daily cap readings for fun. Um, and I had pulled from my Morrigan because I have a couple fellow Morriganians in chat. So thank you, everybody. And I might have lost count because I know it's probably very late over there in the UK, especially in Scotland. Oh, I would love to go to Loch Ness. I was always fascinated with Loch Ness as a child. I would get the books, see the pictures that they would put in there. I know a couple of them have been debunked, but there's a couple that, maybe not quite so much. Perfect. Answered my question. What was that? You have my email. You got it, girl. But Michelle, you've seen on Facebook what I'm starting up next month. So I'll have to see how my classes go. I got a lot going on this year. And we're just starting off. So if anybody else, what are you doing? What are you doing? Wait a minute. Perfect. You answered my question. What are you doing? Oh, for readings. So I'm doing something fun called the Daily Recap. It was a spread suggested by Jamie Sawyer in her deck, in her book for her deck. And I thought, well, it said, morning, afternoon, and evening, and kind of see how the day is wrapping up, and throw in an oracle card into the mix. You want to? Did you really? My dad was a Nessie fan. You know what? I think it's plausible because there have been other creatures just like Sasquatch that have been found in other areas of the world. So yes, I think it's very possible. Alrighty, so I got the caboose. She's not a caboose this time. She is the main engine. Vroom, vroom. Alrighty, let's see. So let's get you a. Yep, he was into aliens and UFOs, etc. Whoa, I like when cards jump. So that's your significator. Let's get you a glyph card to go with your significator, and then we'll do a morning, noon, and night. I was going to joke one day and do afternoon readings and call it Afternoon Delight. I thought it was a little cheeky. All right. Okay. Ooh, my goodness, girl. Okay. You know what, Jax? I'm going to stick to the. No, never mind. I was like, but I have an idea. And I was like, no. I watched the moon landing with him too. Wow. There was a black dot. Afternoon. I used to love that song as a kid, and I would sing it, and I had absolutely no idea what it meant. Sky rockets in flight. Yeah. Okay, so morning. Oh, a little collaboration with some folks, getting some stuff done. Sorry. Wait till they're all down. Midday for Jax. Her energy. And let's see what's going on tonight. This is how we're wrapping things up. Ooh, okay. I can see that. Alrighty, we are going to start with your significator energy and your glyph card. So I just love this. Okay, so you got the world card, my dear. So today your energy is about having things come full circle. Coming, a journey is kind of coming to an end. Certain things are coming full circle. Things are. I'm thinking about what you've got going on. Um, but with the world card, that's about completion. Your journey, something has come full circle for you today. Something feels like it's about to come for full circle, or some aspect of your life today feels like something has come full circle. Like, okay, I started here, I've gone through, and here I am. One beginning of the journey has come to an end, and now we're getting ready to start another. Because with the world, it's a circle, it's culmination, right? You got the full moon card, which is culmination. So let me turn it this way so you can see the picture. But I think between with today's energy with you and up to the next of the full moon, there are going to be a lot of things that are coming into culmination, coming to fulfillment. It's funny that we were just talking about the moon landing, and she gets the full moon. Okay, so again, the full moon, um, having to do with you know so for me, I associate full moons with psychic energy abilities, paying attention to how our bodies feel, because we are pretty much almost all water, and how the moon affects us both emotionally, mentally, even physically, as our waters are reacting to it. And so for me, it feels like something has come full circle with you today or as of late. And I think that's going to really come to fruition by the full moon. There's going to be little nuances of things coming together, and I know that you and I had talked about some of your studying and your development and things. So it feels like between now and then you've got this energy. Just keep it up, because right now I know we're going to the new moon. We just finished the full moon, but there is a cycle coming up. And with that new moon, I think some of that, what was completed in the world, it's like, okay, let's say here's the seeds. We just had that completion. Okay, I've earned these seeds. These are the seeds I created from 0 to 21. And so now we're going to move into the new moon, time to plant. It's dark, it's fertile. Let's work on this. Let's give that energy, let's nourish it, let's grow it, and it'll come to fruition, or full or culmination and fulfillment. I can't, it's like sometimes the words want to come out faster than my mouth can get them out. So I love that energy. They're circles. Well, one's more like an oblong. Well, yeah, more like this, but it's that cycle, it's that circle, it's a coming together, come together. But anyway, like I said, I can't do stuff without singing songs. But it is a coming together. It's a culmination. It's a yeah, just beautiful energy. So for today, I like these cards too. Morning started with you having to collaborate with folks. Daily life, pentacles, health. This could also be projects, things that need to be taken care of. But yeah, it feels like somewhere along the way you had some assistance with people today to help you with putting something together. Um, with health, doctor's appointments, the kids with school, or even maybe a personal project for yourself. And then the afternoon, you need to be the mama, the Empress energy, but also too the Empress afternoons. The inspiration. So here by the with the Empress, it's you're being the mother. You're being there emotionally, for others. You are being, helping people feel grounded, feel safe. You're inspiring them. You're allowing them to communicate who they are to you. It's that beautiful, again, the Empress to me also feels, and she's got even a circle behind. Yeah, we got lots of circles going here. So it just feels like that flow is happening, um, that you embody, also making sure that you take time for yourself with today. The nurturing, the Empress is also about nurturing. We nurture ourselves. This could be pampering, taking time for yourself, being with your pets, with Bubba and Cookie, and going outside with them. And again, nurturing yourself, um, because we got to do that too for ourselves as well. And with the evening, you got the Hermit. And so the Hermit is about taking time to step back now, do some introspection, maybe taking a look at what you started to create or worked with others today. Um, and with that Empress, it's like all queens all in one. So, midday, you were working on, the grounding, the earthing, the health, taking care of, emotions, helping people through emotions, helping yourself through those emotions. The source, being able to communicate maybe with doctor's offices, with schools. I mean, you got a lot, but you're the queen, the Empress. You can do this. And that's nice because tonight with the Hermit, you can step back, take a look, and be able to say, okay, how did the day go? Alrighty, let's get ready for tomorrow. But I love really those two cards at the beginning with the world and the full moon. So that's what I have for you, Jax. Hey, Selena. Oh, Selena, I got to make the announcement here. So I'm going to do it tomorrow night too, because we're doing a paranormal show tomorrow night with Tom, and Allison is going to be coming back to hang out with us on a Friday night. So everybody, Selena, Essence of the Moon, is going to be having Michelle. Now, I've heard her name pronounced as Bellinger, but I've also heard pronounced it as Belanger. And if people don't know who she is, she pretty much made her debut, for at least for me. If people remember Paranormal State before, unfortunately Ryan took a downfall, spiritual downfall, but she was on Paranormal State. She's worked with Chip Coffey, Katrina Weidman, and her cohort Heather. They've been working with her. And with others. So she is a psychic medium or physical medium. I cannot wait, Selena. This is going to be so cool. And I'm wondering if she's also going to share about her. She's part of the vampire community, which I thought was kind of interesting. So yes, so I cannot wait. I was just like, wait, what? So maybe Selena, knock on Amy Allen's door. Amy Allen's my favorite. She's totally cool from the Dead Files, but yeah. Anyway, okay, I'll calm down now. She's super kind to come on my channel, yes. And we need to make sure mods. I'm going to make sure my calendar is completely clear if possible on that day. Selena's going to need mods because with a name like Michelle Bellinger, she is you're I got a feeling, Selena, your chat is going to be full and you're going to get more subscribers. So all righty, you're welcome. And I also hope you're feeling better too today, my dear. I was going to reach out either today or tomorrow. And okay, Salam is here. It's Salam, right? It's not Salama, it's Salam. Hello, hello. Making sure. And Gypsy, oh my goodness. I have okay, I did have 10 people, now I'm down to, but Gypsy JJ is here. Hello. So yeah, I'm doing for fun, I'm doing a daily recap reading with a couple of like an oracle card, a little extra there. And Michelle said, love that, Irene. My hubby's family are NASA engineers, and Jonathan helped create the first DVD launched into space by oh my goodness. So Jonathan's got some mad skills. Oh my goodness. Yes, blast off. Let's see. Oh, I had to jump up all the way. So we're just looking at daily recap readings. So If you want a reading, I'll go ahead and star you and we'll see what the cards have to say. This is basically looking at the energy from today and some of our current energy and an oracle card to boot. Salam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being patient with me, my dear. So I think I will go ahead and do salams. And everybody knows what to do. Put the big old me. I know we're not doing the questions. We're just going to pull cards and we'll see how that works. Okay, so maybe your message will come through. So we will do salam. I got you, Gyps. Whoops. I clicked on the wrong person. And I got you, Gypsy. So sip, sip. But we'll take a look at this. All righty. Well, this is energy from today. So let's take a look. Salam. You got your taste and smell back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Selena wasn't feeling too good. The thing is that I never lost my smell. My taste was a little off when I had 19. People are afraid of saying it, but I'm not on my channel. When I had COVID back in 2022, it took me a month to get better. I was very sensitive to smell, like perfumes and things. It was just, oh my God, it felt like it was burning my sinuses and everything. My taste, it stayed with me. Oh, and of course, Denise, I didn't know you were still here. All righty. So I currently have Salam and Denise. Okay. Let's see. I love these little nesting cards. I think for Salams, I am going to use the nesting dolls for all. Oh, okay. There's the main energy. Okay. Let's see what we got here. And for everybody new, Salam is from Ethiopia. So we have someone far across the world. I just love how we get people from all over the world. That's your second round. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, for me, the cough was the worst. Oops, that's too many cards. Let's go back in here and shuffle. Okay, for Salam. Let's see. Card for this morning's energy. Ah, I did. Afternoon. I can't get that song now, guys, out of my head. Oh, all righty. And for tonight. Oop. I think the cards that pick up a bit on your question from today. See, whoa, I've seen some things here. What we got going on here? Okay. Vessel and insight. Ooh. So your significator, which means card representing your main energy right now, paired with my oracle, is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is balancing. It's a balancing act, balancing finances, balancing projects, trying to balance, Pentacles are about the material world, trying to balance work, finances, security, stability, that kind of thing, just trying to balance life in general. So this is your main energy card. And to go with that, you got the beautiful Vessel card. And it's all about insight. And this is what the card says on there. It says insight. So insights in today is that that you did your best. You balanced, you did, because typically you see someone balancing on one foot. So here it's balanced. This also could be balanced emotions as well. So especially with this cup. So right now I'm seeing the insight that you have gained from being able to do this balancing. Like I'm going to go with your question because it feels like this is very much connected with your question because you had mentioned here. Let me go ahead and put this here up on the screen. So you're talking about you had an interview, and a written exam. So the balancing of these two things, these two very important events, um, required insight. To me, things that you have learned, things that wisdom that you have gained. Um, and I love how they put the chalice in there because it's about the emotions. It's also connecting not just on our wisdom and insight that we see physically with our eyes, but what we can connect with our inner selves, our our intuition, our intuitive abilities. With water, that's also empathic. So there is and it's the vessel. So you are the vessel with this insight, and with that, you were able to do this balancing act today. You were able to balance all those emotions with this event. Now we're going to look at your regular card. So we start off with this morning, the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, there was some stress, there was some burdens, feeling very heavy. The Ten of Pentacles. No, wait a minute. I was thinking about the Ten of Wands, but you know what? I'm going to stick with the Ten of Wands because for me, it feels like the energy felt heavy. It felt burdensome with the red exam. There's that feeling of a feeling weighed down, and I think with all so yeah, there was a feeling of being weighed down. So my apologies. For some reason, when I looked at this, sometimes this is what's happening. Michelle, please tell me this has happened to you, where we pull up a card and we actually see one thing, and then we read it, and then we look down, and it's actually something else. It's like two messages. Yes, there was serious stress in the past 5 years. Yes, so this morning's energy for me felt like there was a heavy burden. But the actual card you have is the Ten of Pentacles. And so the Ten of Pentacles is about success. There was a sense of, it's usually like our ancestor card, it's the card of inheritance, of accomplishment. Tens are full circle. So this is where we collect, we celebrate, we acknowledge, our abundance, whether through, finances, through our ancestry, with our health. So the Ten of Pentacles this morning, this energy was focusing and concentrating on that celebration. If there was a written exam or interview, this Ten of Pentacles is making me feel like you had reached out or had asked for help from your ancestors, the support of others from around you. And I know what you've shared in the past with having worked for the UN. This Ten of Pentacles can also maybe acknowledge you still looking forward or working towards some sort of compensation from having been let go, while at the same time in search of, again, um, for work. And to me, this is a positive card, but I did see the Ten of Wands first. And to me, it's like almost acknowledging this burden, but looking at the actual physical card, to me, it feels like something got started this morning. Something felt right. It looks like something might have started. This is the first invitation. Okay. 5 months of unemployment period. Okay. It's so Selena, it's happened to you. Okay. I mean, this has happened a couple times, and it did when I was reading for Miss Tarot D. That was so embarrassing. So midday, your energy, Salma, was the Knight of Cups. And so for me, this is the energy of somebody who is very empathic. They're there to come, they reach out to you. Some people consider a romantic card for a romantic partner or somebody chivalrous. But this was, for me, this is somebody who emotionally was there for you, that understands you, that helped you. Um, I mean, this could possibly be your energy as well, but looking at the knight doesn't have to be either male or female. Again, this is that energy of a cup being extended, um, emotions being offered, support, empathy, um, also creativity, and our intuition. So it feels like there was this energy from either you or someone offering you that emotional support, that inspiration, something that was very creative coming from you from an emotional place. It just feels like there was some sort of you around midday today for you. There was an emotional support, an acknowledgement of your emotions need to be supported, and someone was there for you for that. Now tonight I've got the King of Swords. And the King of Swords for me right now is um, he is the one that is like, to me, the kings are kind of like the professors, the masters, the ones who have, who I don't want to say like an emperor, but with communication. So if we are talking about an interview and a written exam, it feels like right now your focus, this energy is on this King of Swords. I feel like this is the individual who, and again, it's not male or female, but this is the energy of someone that is going to be looking at and communicating with you on your exam. This could be yeah, this could be the individual who looks at the results, who has done an interview. They are the ones that will look, okay, because they're practical, so they're going to look at your application and say, okay, is this person able to handle X, Y, and Z? For me, though, this is a person who is in charge of, and hopefully it will be in part because I know that you have a concern about ageism with having to go what you're going through right now. Um, Let me pull a clarifier on this one. Because again, the King of Swords is like the teachers, the masters. These could be the people, the CEOs, people who, communicate. They're the ones that like the tests and technology. Um, they rule from a place of practicality, clear thinking. Their emotions don't overrun themselves. They see things sometimes maybe black or white, but it's always very clear communication, um, clarity in what they read, what they see, and their judgment. And I said their judgment, and I got the judgment card. Um, So when it comes to, again, I don't do readings that are prophetic. Um, no, I don't know what time of day it is in your country right now in Ethiopia. I don't know if you are expecting to hear back from this individual with this interview or with this written exam. Um, but it feels like with evening time with you, you may hear a call back with a judgment on their part. Um, judgment cards are could be, also remind us to let go judgments of ourselves, of others. These can also be a spiritual awakening. This could be like an aha moment. um, but that King of Swords, I feel like this is the individual that's going to be who you interview with or who has decided. And the King of Swords are typically from a place of it's not reversed. So for me, it feels like this person will, when they make the decision, it will not be biased. It will be from their practical view of, um, can they perform the job, and what other qualifications. Um, and that's what I have for you, Salama. Good luck. No, Salam, excuse me. But I do like that Ten of Pentacles, though, because it feels like there was some sort of, because with that financial support now with you, now that Cups gives you that feeling of, okay, I can start looking it gives you me that feeling of our emotions of release, like relief. Okay, we can calm down now. We can start reaching out, um, and just knowing that you are supported. Um, and then with the King of Swords and the Judgment. So it's morning time for you. Okay, so morning time. So I'm assuming this interview and exam was yesterday for you. Seeing that we're on a different, I don't know. I do like that Knight of Cups. I mean, to these cards, the first two, all these cards look good. It's just it's going to come to that. I can't say what that judgment will be. You'll have to wait and see. Um, but I'm glad that you were able to get that support for unemployment. Um, and this Knight of Cups could very well be someone reaching out to offer you emotional support. Um, but also, that could very well be yourself finding that support, that emotional balance within yourself, trusting your intuition. Um, I'm going to leave it at that. They wanted to have a chat with me. Well, positive energy around that. If it's the job meant for your highest good, then we wish you your best. We can maybe all pull some energy around Salam and this job. If this is the job that's meant for her, that's for her highest good and benefits her and all involved, then mote it be. Alrighty. Take a sip. Oh my goodness, I've been on for an hour and a half already. After 4 hours. Okay. Shade, I see you, Cat Goddess. Let's see. I see it as an additional message. There's a reason you thought or said a different card. Hire yourself and guide. You're fine, Heather. Yeah, because I accidentally did that one night on a show, and my co-host was kind of pointed out to that. You read that card wrong, and I was just kind of like, oh my god, I was so embarrassed. All righty, but yes. Okay, so let me see who I have next. I have Dinny. No, I have Gypsy. Gypsy. Gypsy JJ. Okay, let's see. Let's go with. I'm going with the Glyph and the Lost Souls Tarot. Although I really love those little nesting dolls. They're so cute. Yes, we're wishing you the very best, Salam. Okay. Okay. Morning card. I like it when they fly out. It makes it so much easier. You put your ooh, like that. Midday. Okay. I'm going, do I want to pull another? No, I got enough cards here. So, JJ, you hold the key. We'll start with that, okay? It says the key and it's about freedom. Okay, so what I'm looking here at your cards, you are the one that holds the key. to this freedom that you're looking for. Um, or there is a freedom. It's interesting because there's two different keys on there, but the one that's up front is the one that unlocks it, and that's the one that you have. You can't get that key from anybody else. That key has to come from you. And from looking at your cards, we've got the magician starting in the morning, which of course is about manifestation. Um, and I'm looking at what's going into the afternoon, and um, it seems like you manifested some Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is, of course, the card where traditional RWS, the person is surrounded by swords, but they're not trapped by them. The swords are the mental entrapments that we put on ourselves, on our thoughts, in our minds. Um, there's a blindfold included. So, and we're wrapped and we feel like we're bound, but we can easily remove ourselves from that. Why? Because we hold the key to be able to do that. So it feels like this morning I'm getting a sense that something was getting manifested, which ended up um, manifesting into this Eight of Swords. The magician. We have all the tools that we need to create. Um, let's say, seeing that was in the morning, how we want to create the day, how we wanted to look at the day. And as the morning progressed towards the afternoon, it feels like this Eight of Swords was created. Now, again, could this have been solely you? I am not sure. But between morning and afternoon, um, this feeling of mental entrapment, the self sabotage. We it felt like you it felt like you might put in, there was either you did okay, how do I say this right? Either you constructed this situation where you put yourself into these Eight of Swords, or communications with people or others from the morning to the afternoon. Now, sometimes, we could be our worst critics, our worst, we judge us ourselves, I think sometimes the worse than others. But I don't know if this is something that someone said or something that had manifested in the morning. Um, it feels like something had been started out, but something didn't go as planned as what you had intended to create, an energy or an event, or I feel like maybe a conversation, which automatically, boom, there goes the Eight of Swords. Self imprisonment, mental. Let me see. Usually I don't look up. Did she say anything yet? No. However, coming to the evening, we did get the Six of Cups, which is about nostalgia, looking back on the past. Um, so looking back on the past can sometimes nostalgia is good for us, but sometimes it makes us stuck in the past, that we're locked away in the past. So whatever got manifested this morning, whatever was created, um, it really puts you into an Eight of Swords moment where you just went in complete mental lockdown. Um, but again, remember, you have the key, you have the power to set yourself free from this. That Six of Cups can, sometimes, make us feel a little bit better, but we need to make sure that we don't live in the past. Um, because we have to move forward. So try not to let the past and whatever manifested this morning, um, keep yourself in this Eight of Swords, this mental lock. It's for me, it's like the card of self sabotage, um, self doubt, where we're we're almost kind of like not quite the 9 where we feel like we might be punishing ourselves, but making sure our thoughts um, don't keep us trapped. Know that we can easily move through those, whatever these thoughts, these communications with others, with ourselves. Um, Maybe visiting the Six of Cups, maybe visiting the past a little bit, or good memories may help. But for me, when I'm looking at this and I'm feeling, is that there's a potential where that nostalgia can cause us to live in the past. This could also very well be something that you are trying to manifest that will bring you that sense of freedom. Um, is being met with other factors that are creating this 8 of Swords and 6 of Cups, where we're trapped in the past, trapped in our thoughts, trapped in our fears. So I'm just going to leave it there, JJ. But remember, girl, you got the key. You're the key master. Alrighty. I know. I wish they didn't keep changing times either. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Alrighty. So, Denise, I know you're there. Ooh, excuse me. So let's see, what tarot cards am I going to use for Denise? Keymaster sounds good. Yeah. I am here. Okay, card for Denise. Ooh. I start using these cards more. I keep forgetting how beautiful they are. Alrighty. So I'm going to pull from the nesting tarot, the nested tarot. So that's for morning. You're on the move, Denise. I was going to reach out to you today and ask, because I was thinking about you today because we were in Medford, and I was wondering if you were out and about traveling for work. I just got the Chariot. And not living in the past, being trapped in the past, my dear. But that's, every reading is a collective reading because it's a good reminder for all of us. You know, we all experience that at some level, at some time. Oh, Denise. Hugs. So your significator card is Column, and it's about stability. Okay. So you look how old this temple is, and that column is still standing strong. It's still holding up part of the temple, and this is all about stability. And this the stability that you bring to family, particularly your son. And I'll just stop there. But it's also a reminder to be able to provide that, make sure that we're stable enough as well. But it's acknowledgement of stability, and how you can hold things up, keep things up. And I love that, beautiful Chris, because right now we're going into a new moon, and the moon in the card is going towards new. And so with this new moon, maybe doing some healing energy work. Good night, Selena. Mwah. Thank you. And bye, Jax. I know it's after 9 o'clock your time. Good night to ladies. It was good to see you. Just local this week, Eugene and Springfield. So, but yeah, going into this new moon. Oh, letting go. This is a good time to working through, traumatic, not just traumatic as in like severe trauma, but just things that feel heavy or negative to us. So we're going into that dark phase where it's time to rest, to regroup, um, and to make sure that you're stable as well. Because if we're not stable, then we can't be there for others. So we need to take care of ourselves first. So, morning card, Denise, we got the Chariot, things on the move. But this is also taking charge, taking control, having to make sure that there is a balance moving forward. And I know how that can be a challenge sometimes, with work and with family. But the Chariot is really, learning how to be able to balance, direct, and control and stay focused moving forward. Um, so as we move into the midday, I did get the Ten of Pentacles as well for you. And the Ten of Pentacles is about, our completion. So there is a sense of financial security, but also looking at health. There's a stability with health, with health. So I think we know where this reading is going because um, things are stabilized, things are grounded health wise. That's like the ancestor card, the memory card. Um, this is like the family, the inheritance. And coming full circle. So it feels like that there's a solidity, during the day. For me, this is the middle card, the midday. Um, yeah, there is a sense of financial stability, health, stable, finances, everything, because I know that's something that you got to work with. Try not to, I might pull an extra card for that one, but your nighttime energy is the Five of Cups. Okay, Denise. And the Five of Cups is about sadness, depression, grief. And yeah, I'm hoping that this Ten of Pentacles has sustained itself throughout the day. For you, yourself, family, and work too. I mean, money, finances, um, but yeah, you're the column. You're the rock. That you're the one that's holding everything up, and that's got a cause. Here, let me pull an extra one here on this Ten of Pentacles. Let me see what Seven of Swords. So there's strategy being done, but there's also a feeling or a sense of something being taken away. It's maybe a betrayal. Not sure what that would be, but we can always talk to. We can do a FaceTime. And then I got a Three of Cups. Interesting underlying energy. So there's almost a feeling of, I'm going to go with the strategy, because you also got the Three of Cups, which is about celebration, others supporting you, celebrating you, especially celebrating you, emotional, the happiness, the joy. That's the underlying energy, the underlying current. But yeah, we can talk about that later because I'm curious about the Seven of Swords. And I'll leave that. But again, Denise, just make sure that you Make sure that while you're stable, providing stability for everybody else, make sure that you have that for yourself too. Don't let, too much of your peace of mind, especially with the swords, don't let your peace of mind, anyone steal your peace of mind um, as well. May I claim the stability card too? Collect, a lot of these mini readings can lead up to collective readings, so go for it. But yeah. I like that Ten of Pentacles because, Denise, it shows what I hope is, family coming to help. To me, that represents to um, the household, the family, the community um, coming together to provide that stability, that security. Um, but just, make sure to take care of yourself. And sometimes, if we feel like we don't have others celebrating us, make sure to celebrate yourself too. But yeah, we can look at that, and if you have more of a specific question later on. But that's what I have for you, Denise. We have to talk this weekend if you can. We'll make a time when we can talk. We'll do a live chat. Then maybe we can find a certain specific. I will look at the bottom of that deck. Stability and protection. You got the Shen ring. And it's about protection. The Pharaoh protecting their people, protecting their land. And remember, the Pharaoh was also once a female, so it doesn't matter what gender on this one. So protection, stability, family coming together. It is a positive reading. It's just that I know, with what's going on, that has brought you sadness. Again, we can talk about that later. Let's see. Lots of moving parts lately, and it does fit today's energy. Okay. Yeah. And then we can take a look at the cards a little bit more. All righty. I've almost been on for 2 hours. Cat Goddess, are you still here? And thank you, everybody. Remember, I know it's hard to leave a comment after, but if, even just a few emojis, that would be great to help with me in the algorithms. Let's see, Gypsy, I tell you now, my partner, 36 years past. Oh, JJ. I didn't want to bring that up because I didn't know if that was ever shared in chat. I remember you mentioning that you were their caregiver, but 10 days, it's been 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. You know how my future looks. Thank you so much. Oh, Merkaba is spinning. Merkaba is spinning. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. I had a feeling. I had a feeling that the cards were partially, pertaining to that. Alrighty, enjoy your dinner. And Cat Goddess is here. Alrighty, my last reading. I appreciate everybody showing up. I didn't know if I would have viewers. So a lot of shows have been going on. So, Cat Goddess. Maybe we'll get you one of the Egyptian kitty goddesses that will be in here. So I think someone fast is in here, but I know Sekhmet. She's in here somewhere. Okay, so for Cat Goddess. Good night, Irene. Thanks for popping in. Take care, sweetheart. Okay, so which deck am I going to use? Let's use this one. I don't know about that, but thank you. I appreciate that. If you can leave a comment after the show, Gypsy, that would be great. Okay. Whew, morning. Whoa. Cat Goddess, what's going on? Okay. All righty. So Cat Goddess, from what I'm seeing here, let's just start off with the glyph, okay? You got the water card, which is primordial. So for me, right off the bat, this is making sure, and this is a great message for everybody, making sure we're drinking plenty of water, we're hydrating. But this here, this energy for you today is like focusing on nurturing, because underneath this water, I'm also, not only do I see water, but it also for me in the image, because of, this connecting with ancient landscapes, especially with the desert. I also feel like there might be like desert and rock, and this water is nurturing this dry rock. So for me, it's like making sure that, you're nurturing yourself, your body, nurturing yourself spiritually. Yeah, just really nurturing, watering those places within yourself. Tapping into that primordial, the primordial ooze, was water. We came, the beginnings of life came out of water. And this is just such one of my favorite cards. It's beautiful, and it's water. I'll just show that to you one more time. It's absolutely beautiful. Giving water to those places in your life that may feel dry, that need nourishment, like your well-being, refill. 'Cause sometimes we give it so much it runs dry, and we don't have enough for ourselves. Um, and also maybe doing something ritual with water, doing a ritual shower or a bath, almost kind of like a baptism. Like cleansing yourself, connecting with whoever your deity is, maybe doing an honoring. But water, just a lot of strong of water, acknowledging the water, especially with the moon too, and how the moon phases affect you, with the water. So today's energy. Well, this energy is for you today. So I'm feeling very watery, very emotional, areas that may need nurturing, that may need to be watered, areas that feel dry, feel neglected, if that makes sense, Cat Goddess. So your beginning card, your morning card, early day card is the Eight of Pentacles. So this is us working on some skills, staying focused, honing our craft, just putting a lot of grit and effort and work into whether this was work itself, if this was a project. This could be health as well. Again, pentacles, anything in material, level. But by the afternoon energy, around that time, I got the Five of Swords. Okay, and the Five of Swords is about, is another card of conflict. It's, trying to have people trying to have the last word with one another. It's the card of picking your battles and choosing wisely what to do. And I'm looking at the beginning, and then I'm looking at the end. And so, whatever this Five of Swords may have very well felt like it just drained you dry, and that you need that water, you need that emotion. Because people try to pull us into their dramas. And that's when we have to put put the sword down and say, no, I am not going to be drawn into this. I'm not going to be baited into this. Um, and whatever this Five of Swords, this conflict or drama, it just, yeah, nourish yourself tonight, especially with the emotions. It could have very well left you feeling drained, dry emotionally. Your last card for the end of the day, evening, nighttime, is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is you taking a look carefully at what has gone on today. The Knight of Pentacles. It's interesting that this knight isn't on a horse. I don't know if any of them are, but the Knight of Pentacles is the knight that is very slow moving. They take a step back, they look at everything, they analyze. So this is a good card because perhaps then that Five of Swords, you could see something that was going on. Maybe you may not have been directly involved, or someone may have tried to bring you into that. But now that the day is over, you can look at and say, all right, Knight of Pentacles, looking at things very closely, seeing how everything was playing out, and just it's baby steps, taking a step back, not rushing into anything, and just letting things be right now. But yeah, that middle card, if you can avoid being drawn into somebody's drama, or this could even be us trying to prove ourselves right over another person. But whatever the situation is, this conflict, between words, thoughts, ideology, communication. Um, it's good to be taken a step back, you know, and carefully examining all sides of the situation, like the perspectives, you know, um, how do you feel? What were they feeling? What was really being said? Just really taking the time to just step back, and with the Knight of Pentacles, getting grounded, you know, and again, just making sure that um, you stay hydrated and you connect with your emotions. And that Knight in Pentacles in the water, that's good juju right there for to end the day. Getting grounded, you know, eat a good meal, get rest, maybe take a shower, a cleansing bath, something. Let just whatever just drain, shower over you or down the tub, purify yourself, drink plenty of water. And that's what I have for you, Cat Goddess. So it shows I am down to two. So, Cat Goddess, hopefully that resonated with you. And I think, again, everybody who had been here, I know a lot of people had to pop out. So, me and I've got a chance to say goodbye. So, thank you, Michelle Marie, for popping in. Denise for popping in. I met Colin early on. Draven was here. So, thank you, everybody. Well, you're still here. Yes, please hit the thumbs up, a comment or emoji afterwards if possible. You're welcome, Cat Goddess. I hope that resonated with you. It sucks being drawn into other people's drama. And, that could very well represent, too, as a collective of what we're dealing with right now in this country, we all are coming from different points of view, and how media, the swords, communication technology, our devices and everything, how they can really perpetuate infighting and conflict. And yeah, sometimes we just have to kind of take a step back from that, like the Knight of Pentacles. I just step back and say, okay, what's my energy? What's their energy? What are they saying? You know what I mean? Just getting grounded away from all that. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And again, tomorrow night, no readings, but Tom, Early Ritual, and Allison, Aries Girl Tarot, will be joining me tomorrow night, and we'll be talking about our paranormal experiences. Shan will be here as well, sharing his experiences as a child, seeing a real Sasquatch, an alien, and I'm going to see if I can get him to talk about his spirit group of native spirits that he saw when living in Flagstaff in Arizona. So, and a couple of others that he's had. So, it should be a very interesting conversation. So, if you love the paranormal, drop by tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. And thank you again for everybody for joining me today. True. Yep. Exactly. We can only do what we can best. And for some of us, if that's to make maybe a donation to an organization or charity that's helping people, like in Minnesota or in Kansas or in other places now, we can do that. We can do ritual. We can do prayers. We can, speak up from time to time and just acknowledge that everything that's going on is not okay and is unacceptable and it needs to change. So, power is to the people if we're willing to fight for it. So, alrighty, everybody, again, have a good night. Thank you again for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.